Good morning, everybody. Courtney here, the New Mexico Stitching Demon. And as you can tell, I'm speaking in semi-hushed tone because we have a new household member in the home, and last I checked, she was still sleeping. We will not have music over this one because I have Dane Cook in the CD player, and nobody needs a comedy track over Monopoly because Monopoly is just not that funny. So I'm trying to get this all on a nice. Like somebody had commented on my last video, you know, I wish I could see you stitching closer. And I'm like, I wish I could show you guys stitching closer, but this is probably the best I'm going to be able to do, to be honest. So, oh, it's not too terrible. That's always good. So, oh, and as you can see from these telltale lines, I frogged. I had to frog quite a bit yesterday, and I had noticed it. The last rotation, the block just seemed kind of tight, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't seem right. So when I was doing the fill-in color, this orange color, I was like, yeah, that's not right. Because I was 4 stitches too short, so I frogged out where I needed to and added the extra stitches, because it was literally four stitches too short, and just stitched out 4, and there you go, fixed it. Boom! So, who is the new house guest, you ask yourself? Well, that would be my mother. We moved her out here from Bullhead City, Arizona. I've mentioned her many times. She's a wonderful person. She's, you know, not the most perfect mother. I mean, no mother is perfect, and that's fine. I don't want my mother to be perfect. She'd be freaking boring. But what happened was she had made a mistake and was finding herself in a situation where nobody else was willing to help her. So Dan and I said, take my strong hand, and she did. And after a few days of argument, she finally got on the goddamn train. And Wednesday afternoon, we picked her up from the train station at Santa Fe, and she's been here ever since. Today is Saturday, May 25th. It's Memorial Day weekend. I'd like to extend my well wishes for this weekend. Please be safe. This is a time to remember those who fell for our freedom, for this great country that we live in, the United States. It's tangled. Untangle. So, and I know this is, you know, we don't thank the vets this weekend as Veterans Day, but I like to thank the vets and for those who did try to bring the fallen home and who ultimately, you know, brought peace to the family members of those who did fall. So thank you. And today we shall honor, or this weekend we shall honor them. I get a 3-day weekend, which means lots of stitching. By now, you saw that I have, well, at the time of this recording, I have 2 finishes, you guys, for this month. 2, one of which is already fully finished. That one I cannot show you the fully finished product at this time because we are shipping that out to California. And I want to do a reveal video, and I'm hoping that who we're sending it to, David Sherrill, will actually like wait until somebody actually records them so that they can send me the video and I can share it with you guys, because it is stunning. That's all I'm gonna say. It is absolutely wonderful. It really is. That of course is three baby dragons. If you guys saw the picture on Facebook and, or Instagram, sorry, the only people I have on Facebook are friends, family, coworkers. Facebook is completely separate from my, well, not completely separate, but you know, yeah. No. And then there is my Instagram, which I don't know if you guys like ever actually like read the end card and title card that I put on my videos these days, but I am going to be changing my Instagram name. I was going to wait until July, but I'm kind of wanting to do it now. Beginning June 1st, it will be NM Stitching Demon, so it will be very much connected to my X-Stitch channel, FlossTube channel, this nonsense. Sure you guys can still see that, sorry. Trying to be comfortable, trying to make sure that you guys see. You know. You know. Someday I will get a nice fancy camera setup, and this won't be a problem. But in the meantime, this is where we're at. This is the best we're gonna do. Now it's actually not too terribly uncomfortable, so yeah. The second finish, I actually just finished about 30-45 minutes ago, because I mean, you guys know how it is. You gotta, you know, take the picture, get it out of the Q-snap, or you gotta get it out of the Q-snap, take the picture. If you save, you know, the pattern, and if you record your days on it, you know, you want to make sure that it is organized and logged in correctly. You want to, you know, get it set up so that your framer, if you live with them, will be able to see it when he comes home from work this afternoon. Hint, 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 hint. I do believe so. And then, you know, if you, oh, I do plan on showing you guys this at some point, but yeah, it's not gonna be this video. I think I'll actually, the next time I have, oh, I will actually probably show it to you guys and tack it onto my update video this next weekend. But I have set up, and this is kind of a tangent, an Excel spreadsheet called my filler, or no, my focus book. The extra fluff. I don't know if you guys can see that fluff, but it is irritating. Can you guys see how far off I was? I mean, really, that is just insane. But going back to this filler book, basically what I've done is I've got, I have the main spreadsheet, which lists all of the projects that I've got going on for the year, starting from January 1st on, including those that I've already finished. And then I And of course, I'll show this to you guys later, but you guys will have at least an idea of what I'm talking about at that point. I will, and then I've got columns where 12 extra columns for January, February, March, all the way through to December. Each column where I have stitched that project, put an X. So if I worked on Monopoly in the month of January, put an X. If I worked on it in the month of May, as I'm doing now, put an X. So on and so forth. If it is a focus, it is in yellow. Main focus. Oops, sorry. Try to get it. If it's in yellow, once it is finished, I highlight it to green. Now, here is how I'm going to be working my focuses from now on. 3 Baby Dragons was my main focus this year. The original goal was to have it done by September, and then it was June 30th, and of course I got it done this month. Because thanks to Ginger Gerald and the large project finish competition, I managed to add in more time, like at 8:30, whatever I'm stitching on that day goes away, and then I move to my focus piece. So there's another hour or two stitched on it. The focus piece is what I take to work, so I work on that at lunch. I don't typically take breaks. Personally, I don't see the point of taking a break when it's just data entry, really. I mean, that's just me. But I do understand wanting to step away from your computer for a little bit, so I don't fault those who do take breaks. I just don't take breaks. That's just me. I've just always have been. So the focus piece goes with me to work. I work on that during lunch. And then, of course, it's got its own separate time during the month. It's got its 3 days. And then, of course, Wednesdays. So having that extra time has really pushed that thing along. Not only that, but the last couple of weeks I was working on 3 Baby Dragons, I pretty much abused the shit out of myself. I lost sleep. I stayed up late. And then on that last day, I just completely took a day away from whatever I was working on, that rotation, which happened to be Let It Snow, which, as most of you know at this point, is not one of my favorites. I don't know what it is about it. I don't hate it. It's not one of my favorites. I really am trying to make sure that you guys see this very good. And I spent that entire day just, finishing it, and I got it finished, and then the rest of the night, I was just like, what do I do? And finish fatigue, y'all, is a real thing. Ginger Gerald is not making this up. Neither is anybody else who says it. It really is a thing. I was exhausted for days afterwards, like days, like when you travel and you're like, oh god, now I'm home. It's almost like jet lag. Like, it's really just painfully exhausting. I did manage to put stitches into everything else that I was working on, but So I was like, okay, well, I would like to work on something else, focus on something else for the rest of the month. It just seems kind of silly not to have some sort of focus. So what I have done is I have started, I've got 3 extra sheets in the Excel book. One is May, one is June, one is July, obviously, because that's how far out I have my projects planned out. My web's planned out. I can tell you right now, I have 28 projects that are going on this year, or have been worked on in some capacity this year. The next round of new whips doesn't occur until July. So So for me, I've got kind of like a bingo board going, sort of. Like it's not like, A1 or whatever like that. But, hold on. Hate getting in the middle of those down first. So I set it up like a bingo box. Make sure that there's like 9 squares, typically. And put in all of the projects that I've got going on for that month. With the center one being the focus of that month, which was the main focus, and that was Three-Legged Dragon. Since it was completed, I filled it in green. And then went to random number generator and put in 1 through 9 to be fair, and it came up with number 3, I think it was, and that happened to be Butterfly and Bluebell, and that was the one that I was working on for Diva, a friend of mine who worked with us, and then she had to move to Texas for reasons. And I finished that today. So when I was having it as a filler focus, it was highlighted in blue or purple. And of course, obviously I'll show you that color coding and whatnot later, but yes, I was asleep at that time. And then when that got finished, I had, changed it, color filled it with green. And then I chose another filler focus for this month in random number generator again, and popped up with number 6, and that would be Old Ship. So, and it's already gotten its time this month, but, it doesn't matter, because I think that if, and I'm not like going to pick for the filler focus, the idea is to give extra time to something that is that particular month. And then that's only worked until the very last day of the month. And then the first of the next month begins the main focus of that month. Now, going into the second half of the year, that is basically focus on, the main focus is Christmas stuff, because, even with all of the wedding stuff, we still want to make sure that we do something for the nieces and nephews, and I'm doing the Teddy Bear Christmas ornaments that I had talked about beforehand. So the main focus until completion, even if it takes like 2-3 months, which I don't think it will, honestly. It's only 12 ornaments and they're small. Is the Teddy Bear Christmas ornaments, and there's only 12 of them, I do believe. If I get those done in 2 weeks, sweet. Not likely to get 1 ornament done a day, but it would be nice. So that's pretty much how I'm working my focuses from now on. And then once the main focus for Christmas is done, then each month will have a main focus, which means that it gets focused on the entire month. And then the first of the month, brand new main focus. And as I was explaining, if the main focus gets done and there's still time in the month, I pick a filler focus, hashtag filler focus, and that finishes out the month. Well, Old Ship is not going to be finished in this month, so it's going to stay purple, and it's just a nice log, and you'll see it that, I used this in this month as a filler focus, and so I got a little bit of extra time, and that was really cute, So the main focus is not going to be that of the month. That will be picked out of random number generator from all of the projects that I have. And I think when I go, and I'll even start like a different sheet, like between the months, and figure out which project is not finished, and do a random number generator and pick it that way. But I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We'll see there. But I'm really excited to show you guys my finishes next week. Today's just a stitch with me. I just heard my mom moving around. She's what are you talking to? Talking to my peeps, Ma. Sounds cute. She's doing keto too, and she is very strict on her keto. A lot more strict than I am. Oh, I have to tell you guys, I have lost, since I started keto, 22 pounds. I think I mentioned that there was a weight loss challenge competition thing going on at work, and I took third place. I lost 16.6 pounds during the challenge, which basically means I got all my money back. I was very damn proud of myself. Wasn't dead last, wasn't first. Don't care. I enjoyed it. It was fun to take part in something like that for work. All the money that I put into the pot, like so it was a $20 buy-in, and then every week you pay $2, especially if you lost weight. If you gained weight, even if it's an ounce, you paid $3. And I had put in a grand total of $47. Got it all back, which means I need to put it in my TARDIS bank. Today is the last day of the rotation on Monopoly. I would have loved to have gotten further, but Thursday, as soon as I came home, Mom was like, oh, we need to go to Walmart, we need to go get this, that, and the other, and I'm like, fuck. So, went to Walmart, and I got cranky because I was after work, and I'm tired. I get home from work, I want to stay home. She knows that now. Said, she learned her lesson. Mama, Courtney don't go nowhere after work. She goes home. Unless it's, planned event with Dane. Like a date. Kind of in a little weird position. But anyway, yeah, last night she made it's almost like a taco salad, but no taco whatsoever. It was some seasoned ground beef on cut up avocado with cheese and sour cream and lettuce stuff, and it was great. My mom is a phenomenal cook. She really is. She always has been, we joked with her, growing up, I guess all that pasta and carbs was a bad idea. But, you're poor, you ain't got a whole lot. We didn't know about ketosis back then. Keto wasn't a thing. I mean, Atkins was, but that's kind of what keto is, but not really. Better. Dan also brought home those cotton candy grapes. They're on sale right now. They're in season, so of course they're on sale at Smith's, and they are so good. And no, I'm not supposed to eat them, but you know what? Psh, cheat a little. It's fine. You increase your metabolism that way. Because, keeping your body guessing. I have also been doing unconsciously or subconsciously intermittent fasting, in which I really don't eat breakfast all the time, especially when I'm home. When I'm at work, yes, I do eat breakfast. I eat Jimmy Dean scramblers or a couple of boiled eggs or something, or one of those protein packs that doesn't have like the chocolate covered anything or whatever. There's one that is it's got sopressata salami, Gouda cheese, and a hard-boiled egg, and that would be breakfast, because it was like $2. Yeah, you don't honestly have to spend a whole crap ton of money to eat healthy. Like, you really, really don't. But, you know, the health food market makes you think so. Just be smart about it. That's what we've learned, you know, just if you know something is bad for you, one, you can eat it anyway. Who cares? It's your body, your life, whatever. Yeah, I still eat McDonald's on occasion. We had Wendy's the other day, but I had a salad. Great. Or you can just do moderation, or, you know, every now and again, you know, obviously eating McDonald's every day, very bad idea. Once a month, not too bad. Every now and again, you know, treat yourself, you know, cheat a little, it's fine. On your diet, not on your people, on your diet. You're, you know, at that point you're bound to, and this is what I found, is basically you keep your body from plateauing because it's not, oops, sorry, you're not letting it get used to one thing, you know what I mean? We have hired a wedding photographer for the wedding. She is a co-worker of Dane's who graduated from a fashion institute in New York a couple of years ago. She came over, showed us her portfolio. Phenomenal work that she does. She could really tell a story with pictures. That is for sure. You know, I think she will be the most expensive thing that we have for wedding, but you know what? That is perfectly fine. I feel very comfortable spending the money on her and her associate to take beautiful photos, do all of the work herself, you know, work with us on what kind of prints we want. We showed her around the property, showed her in the house, you know, this is where we're going to be, where they're going to be. This is where the ceremony is. This is where we're hoping to actually, like, fit the reception. So, that's going to be great. We still need to get a lot of stuff for the wedding. We're 4 months out, and we still don't have the playlist all together. We don't have the invitations sent out, not all of them, only some of them. We don't have the table, chairs, and tents that we need. We don't have our tartan yet. I haven't heard from my officiant since November, December. We did get our wedding rings, though. They did come in yesterday, and, you know, we wore them for several hours before we went to bed, and, you know, kind of got used to the feel, and they are lovely. My ring's just a little snug right now, but because I'm losing weight, it should be perfectly fine by the wedding. And actually, my finger is a lot smaller than what it used to be, so, or a lot thinner anyway. Thank you, water weight going away. My tummy is starting to kind of beg for sustenance. I shall sustain it briefly, shortly. I wanted to do this first since I just finished watching Murder Mountain on Netflix, and that is about the legalization of marijuana growers in Humboldt County in Northern California. And I mean, obviously, the entire state of California, duh. But how it affected them specifically, and the fact that the black market trade for marijuana has, you know, obviously invited some not to lovely people to, you know, be ruthless and kill people, and it was covering the murder of one of the workers named Garrett Rodriguez. They went through, you know, the vigilante justice that was done for the accused to confess. the fact that the Humboldt County Sheriff's Department really did nothing. I mean, they really were given, even before the vigilante justice was enacted. Like, the guy didn't die. Like, you know, he still, the accused wasn't killed. He was hurt, but he wasn't killed. Um, like, even before all that, the Humboldt County Sheriff's Department, like, they had all of this information, you know, about this guy, and, you know, he's missing, and this is where he was working, and this is who he was associated with, and, you know, blah, 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 and they did nothing. Like, nothing. And the reason why that it is speculated is the fact, and then a couple of the lawmakers that they were interviewing pretty much said it, you know, we don't care about the pot growers up there, let them deal with it themselves. And that's how some of them thought, you know, that, you know, they're just drug dealers, they're just, you know, blah blah blah, who cares, you know, he's a loser anyway, is what they told his father. I mean, like, they were just nasty about the whole thing. And the former sheriff, you know, he's like, oh, well, we can't do anything because blah, 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 reason, excuse. It's like, you were told where he was. Why didn't you just go look for the body? Yeah. And then a couple of the people who were involved in getting the confession of where the body was buried and whatnot, what happened to Garrett, were ultimately murdered. Not by the sheriff's department, but by other people in the on Murder Mountain, you know. So they, you know, and of course they're talking, you know, not just about the murder, but also what the taxation and regulation of marijuana growers has done to the marijuana industry. And really, yeah, this is just in the state of California. This isn't technically nationwide, but they have taxed them out of existence, essentially. Taxed them and regulated them to the point where they really have no freedom to do what they know is best for their industry, you know. Taxation and legalization of marijuana is a good idea, but it has to be done correctly, and what California has done is really not done it to help the independent pot farmers. What they have done essentially is made room for corporations and big pharma to take over because they have all the money. And unfortunately, you get Monsanto, for example, put their grubby freaking paws all over it, and all you're going to do is make people sick, and they know it. That's all they do. They make people sick, and then they lose lawsuits, and they're just all surprised. So, eventually, I think things will improve, but I don't know. We're still in the state of New Mexico. It's become legal, recreation or medicinally, not 100% recreationally. I know that it will bring in revenue. The problem is that New Mexico is a very poor state, and it has been very poorly run for years. And I don't care who's in office, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't seem to matter for the state of New Mexico because it's still broke. We're still illiterate. The streets aren't getting the attention, but by God, we're complying with ADA and putting in brand new sidewalks. But the streets look like shit. Basically, you're putting a gilded frame around a pile of dog shit, and it doesn't make the pile of dog shit look any better, just so that, you know, your neighbors are able to walk down the street. Sorry, I was looking at the time on the thing. About 35 minutes. I think that's actually a very good time for a, well, at least from me. I do want to thank those of you who are new subscribers. Welcome to the madness. To all of my returning viewers, thank you so much for returning week after week for these Stitch With Me's. I'm glad that the new format, well, not technically new format, but the fact basically the new way I'm doing the Stitch With Me's seems to be pretty well received. Putting some music on top that's not repetitive or boring. Like I mentioned in my last one in the description box, you never know what you're gonna get. But this month there's only 3 Stitch With Me's because the one at the beginning of the month just didn't get done. Yeah, it was. May is an exhausting month. Mania, I am not officially in Mania. This is basically how I work it. I don't have new starts this month, except for I got one new start at the beginning of the month. Yes, I did, which was a gift from above, blessing from above, whatever, for my friend, which I'm hoping to go see here in the next few weeks, and her super preemie. I have been enjoying watching the Mania videos and you know, having new versions of Mania being invented, especially by Jesse Mania going. There's Monogamania, which is just working on one or focusing on, which is basically what I do. You know, there's one major focus and then everything else, but I don't know that I do it the way that other people are doing it. Doesn't matter. I don't participate in Mania anyway. But it is fun to watch, and I have been enjoying watching Sammy J's vlogging the video every day. For those who went to the Mirabilia retreat, I'm really glad you guys had a lot of good fun and a great time. To all of the retreat goers this year, have fun. Make new friends. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy all the shopping and enjoy the experience. I hope to go in 2021. That is my goal, is to go to a retreat in 2021, because next year is the honeymoon. This year we just need to like breathe and get married, and then by 2021 we should be all vacationed out, and so that I can, you know, escape my new husband for a few days. So I'll put in these last few stitches. They should be 9. Hooray! Oh yeah, speaking of hooray, Stitching Jewels has over 375 floss tubers, cross stitch tubers listed on her blog, stitchingjewels.com. I am listed there along with 375 others. I was actually very surprised to see my name there. I gotta say, I was like flabbergasted. I was like, oh, nobody mentioned me, yeah. I'll finish off this row now with Sana. I think it's really cool that there is actually a list out there, you know, and if you don't want to watch one person, you can try another person. Oh, speaking of new floss tubers I've been watching, started watching 2 fairly new ones, Stitching for Sanity, which is Donna, and Solar Stitches, Elizabeth, into very different parts of the country, into 2 very different styles of stitching, and you know what? That is what makes this community, this cross stitch community, pretty cool because we all stitch different things. You know, there are a lot that like the primitive style. I don't, but you know, that's just my taste. You know, I like the crazier stuff. I like the, you know, you guys see what I like. I like everything. Very eclectic in my taste. Keeps it interesting. Alrighty, guys. At this point, I'll go ahead and sign off. I want to thank you guys for joining me this week. Next week will be the update video to go over all of that I did in May. You'll see the picture, at least, of the finish, the unframed finish of 3 baby dragons, and then you'll see butterfly and bluebell finished. Yeah, so I'm going to finish working on this. I'm devoting the entire day to Monopoly because I did take away a couple of hours this morning to finish off Butterfly and Bluebell. I justify that by saying, well, I was going to finish it tonight anyway. Figured I'd just get it done first thing in the morning. You guys have a great weekend. Have a safe holiday weekend. Thank you for watching. Thank you for stitching with me. Thank you for listening to my very soft spoken rambles today. You guys have a great weekend, like I said, and I will see you next time. Peace.